Oh my goodness, happy Wednesday. So I owe you a punishment and I'm gonna give it to you and I'm not gonna dilly-dally because I don't want this video to be super long. Basically, last year I was in the hospital for, they thought it was a cyst on my ovary, they thought it was appendicitis, and now they've just narrowed it down to hormones, but no one really knows what it is. Pain in my side, but then I had to go to school the next day, and I was on a lot of pain medicine and still a little woozy from like the morphine they gave me or whatever they gave me in the IV. So, but I had to go to school the next day, and one of my homework assignments was an ekphractic poem, and an ekphractic poem is a poem based off of a work of art. So me, on morphine, I decided to write mine about Big Ben, and I had to present it in class. So here's me the day after going to the hospital, because my friend stole my phone and filmed it because I leaned over to her and said, "Hey, it's gonna be great, promise not to laugh," and that was fun. So here's me on morphine reading my poem that I wrote while I was in the hospital and then didn't touch again until my presentation when I just read it. I didn't edit it at all. So, I'll see you tomorrow. The rest of you, I'll see you next week. Bye. Getting an image that spoke to you, I was thinking about when I went to London with the marching band earlier this semester, when we marched in the New Year's Day parade, and how just everything in Europe and kind of London is just so like old and has historic significance, and it was like eye-opening, and it was like such a crazy experience to me. I ate at restaurants older than our country, and it was just so crazy, and so it just really affected me and made me look at things in a different kind of thing. And so this is Big Ben. Big Ben is actually not really the clock, it's the bell inside the clock that rings every 15 minutes or so. Standing at 316 feet tall, built in 1859, Big Ben, and no one's really done anything to it, and that's what impresses me about it. It's how it's so old, and just everything in this glass right here was built by hand, and there's about 116 to 130 individual pieces of glass that were handcrafted inside of that clock area, and each of the little hands on the clock are 7 meters long-ish. So yeah, this is my poem. I called it Big Ben, and I talked about it as if Big Ben was the entire structure. All right. 1859, 157 years. This clock moves on. Imagine all the things Big Ben has seen, from political powerhouses to elegant monarchs. Big Ben has witnessed true love and heartbreak, times of war and times of peace, and there, it just keeps ticking. Horse and buggies, Model T, Mercedes, all have driven by. Big Ben is just a stander-by.
Dang.
Big Ben doesn't stand very tall. 316 feet is its height. Like a small, shy standby, Big Ben just watches until it rings the 15-minute mark, the 30-minute mark, the 45-minute mark, and finally the hour. Big Ben, no matter its height, gets a chance to speak, and you can feel it from your head to your toes. Big Ben is small, old, and wise. This stationary timepiece is so small and yet so significant to its surrounding and to the history of it. Big Ben doesn't have to be strong to make a difference, and neither do we.
Aw,